The federal government has approved contracts worth 41.872 billion for the immediate repairs of the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, a link road between Enugu and Anambra states, as well as procurement of 337 operational vehicles for the Nigerian Customs Service. The government also authorized the installation of baggage scanners in at least 6 railway stations. This is part of the government's efforts at ensuring the safety of passengers and railway infrastructure nationwide. A State House correspondent Adesuwa Omoran reports.
In recent years, Nigeria has been investing heavily in its railway infrastructure as part of plans to expand and modernize the transportation sector. But as the rail network continues to expand, concerns about security and safety at railway stations have also been growing. There have been reports of attacks by armed robbers and other criminal elements targeting passengers and staff of railway stations. In one high-profile incident in 2022, a group of terrorists attacked a train in Kaduna State, killing at least one person and kidnapping several others for ransom. In a bid to further improve security of passengers, the council has approved funds for the provision of baggage scanners.
The Federal Ministry of Transportation had 2 memos today, which I presented on behalf of the ministry, and it had to do with the provision of scanners at all railway stations all over the country. You will all agree with me that in view of the importance of security of lives and property, that such equipment has to be installed at our railway stations. We are starting the railway revolution. We are trying to put in place a lot of things in the railway. We don't want people to come and damage all that government has been trying to put in place in that sector. Scanners cost 495 million naira.
According to the information disclosed, walk-through and handheld scanners, among others, will be set up at railway stations situated between Abuja, Kano and Kaduna over the next 4 months. Additionally, reprieve may have come the way of thousands of daily commuters who use the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, as government's approval of maintenance work, costing over 6 billion naira, is expected to improve driving conditions.
Some of you might ask, and I was asked before, that, okay, we did some work on the Third Mainland Bridge before, where are there potholes now on it? So this contract responds to the potholes that have become manifest on the entire pavement of the deck of the bridge, spanning 11 kilometers, and the interchanges, Adeniji Adele, Adekunle, and Bagada ramps that all link the bridge.
The federal cabinet also observed a minute of silence in honor of eminent jurist and former Attorney General of the Federation, Bola Ajibola, who died over the weekend at the age of 89. A total of 9 memos were presented and considered during the cabinet meeting presided by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, as President Muhammadu Buhari is away on a week-long official trip to Saudi Arabia. From the presidential villa here in Abuja, Adesuwa Omoran for Arise News.
Well, Arise analyst Mr. Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss this development and why the federal government should be making such financial commitment in the twilight of the Buhari administration. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale.
Good afternoon.
Some might hail this as a step in the right direction. Some might say they smell a rat based on the timing. I'm wondering where you stand.
Let me start by saying that these are public goods and utilities. These are things that all of us will use, not they themselves or even their family. We have security, health, infrastructure, education, and knowledge. These are things we need. And government is a continuum. The Buhari administration is in its second term of 4 years. I'm sure these projects, except those that manifest along the way, these projects have been in the pipeline. We have 36 commissioners. We have many ministries. I'm sure they've been queuing up for approval one way or the other. So I don't smell a rat that they are coming up now. And anyway, The costs are in the public domain now. If people are suspicious, they can make comments. Engineers, experts, those who use the services can make comparative cost analysis and reach their conclusions. But as far as I'm concerned, that they have been done at all is a plus for the government. It's never too late. I'm a beneficiary of the state, and I think all of us are, of the state of this third mainland bridge. The potholes there, has turned almost all of us who use it into roadside mechanics. You see the state it is in, you take your car there, invariably, within a week you have to go back to the mechanic, the shock absorber. So, to me, I am not an engineer. Spending 6.2 billion to repair 11 kilometers and all that, that is the business of government. But the utility of that road to those who ply it is not in doubt. Government is work in progress. Government should be based on accountability and integrity. And I assume that is inbuilt in this Federal Executive Council. It's not as if they convene a special meeting to approve this. And then some people can even get suspicious that even the president is not around, the vice president is there, and they are doing this. But then, that is too much suspicion. You must give people benefit of doubt that they are as patriotic as we are, and they are as responsible as we see them and as they claim to be. So, since these are public goods and utilities, it's never too late to implement them.
Okay,
That's
so
let
me come in here and talk about the timing, because Adesowa did say in that report that the repairs are expected to happen over the period of 4 months, and we know that of course cuts across the time between the current administration and when the new president-elect will be sworn in. Do you think that in itself would make the 4-month project last longer than it should? I mean, you spoke about how the Third Mainland Bridge in itself is an utility. I live in Ikeja myself, so I understand the importance of that bridge. Are we not going to see a case of that 4 months becoming 6 months and seeing, a lot of traffic build up?
Even if it becomes 6 months, they won't be there.
Exactly. So why are they waiting till now?
They won't be there. But the party in power is succeeding itself. So in a way, politically, in terms of transfer of power, it is continuum. Don't let us look at it the way we looked at the issue of outgoing governors and governors-elect. Especially when they are in different parties, writing letters to banks that, I think this is a different kettle of fish.
I mean, we're also looking at 435 million for scanners, which is something that when you're setting up a train line, is not something that should happen after the fact, after insecurity.
How much a scanner costs? Over 400 million. A scanner.
435 million.
For a scanner. Well, I'm not an expert on scanners, but it's for security. And if the thing is in place, maybe, I'm not holding brief for government, maybe the sort of things we have, this hijacking of the train by terrorists and Boko Haram who will go down. But then let me give you another example on matter of good faith. I read that Custom, they are giving them 377 vehicles. They are repairing the auditorium.
Yes.
The sum is colossal. But I read somewhere in the paper today that area command of Custom, Apapa alone, between January and March raised 231 billion in revenue. You get me? There are some ministries that are cost centers, but there are some ministries that are revenue generators. Even right now, the World Bank has said that we should widen our tax net so that we get in more money, so that we can pay our debts and all that. So, given Customs vehicles is to facilitate that they generate more revenue. That is to be encouraged. Compare that with what I'm going to tell you that next. The Minister of Sports, he was not asking for funds. He was lamenting that they are on their way out. And that the stadia in the country, in Lagos, Abuja, they hold NEPA bill about 1 billion naira. You get me? And that to fix the floodlight in the stadia will cost 10 billion. But he's not bringing that to the table. He's just lamenting that things got to this state because government expenditure, government allocation was not coming for his ministry. So whilst with Lagos, we can think, I don't think even it is too, with Lagos, I can clap for Fashola. Why use that road? I'm scared to use that road. And I know how it costs me to maintain my vehicles on the road. So and he has even gone out of his way to explain that it's not duplication. That Lagos State is doing maybe asphalt.
Yeah.
But you see, on Lagos State, the only problem I have is that when they are doing construction, they say take alternative route, and you discover there's no alternative route. So that one should stop. If they are doing roads, they should put alternative routes for people to take, so they can go and hand their living.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sobowale. Yes. Now, for those that don't necessarily share your optimism and your faith.
Like you?
Like me? No, that's not the case. I'm just saying, this is coming probably a week after we also discussed the $800 million that's supposed to be, for the 50 million Nigerians. Right. That raised a lot of, concerns in terms of how this distribution was supposed to happen and whatnot. Now we hear about this $6 billion that's going into the aesthetics, of the third mainland bridge. How do we ensure that we actually see our money's worth when this project is completed, and then we don't hear subsequently that we need another amount of money for another aspect of the bridge?
Another portfolio.
Okay, let me compound your problem. You see, even in this latest approval of the Federal Executive Council, there is a revaluation exercise of the road from Enugu to Anambra by 70 billion. You get me? It increased the contract from what it was before. Look, you cannot. Governments have to have budgets. They have to implement budgets. And just like governments or political parties campaign to us, promise us heaven and that, at the end of the day, some do. Some walk away scot-free with murder. They don't do what they promise. But then, some people still vote for them in spite of that. So that is human nature. It is the duty of government to have a program, to source for financing that program, and to leave it as it is when its tenure ends. That is why government is a work in progress. We continue on. We give people benefit of doubt. That's how I have my own peace of mind. If the projects are laudable, if they are social goods that are of benefit to society, that's salutary, that take care of the welfare of people, you have no doubt other than to give those who implement it benefit of doubt. If they don't do, that will be a leakage somewhere along the line. If there is a lack of accountability or lack of integrity or lack of professionalism, it will come out sooner than later. And people will react at the polls by voting them out, or if they do well, making sure they continue.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dayo Sobowale. We still have you in the studio with us. You're watching Newsday.